we will let you speak first.
Say the word.
Okay,
Do you want me to stand up and do it from here?
once you'll have to stand up.
Sure.
Let me call the meeting of the Irvington Architectural Review Board to order. If you are making an application tonight, we ask that you be prepared to share your screen on the computer to give us a better idea of what we're talking about and speak clearly and let us know who you are and who you represent if you're not the applicant. Okay, before we start, or as we discuss what we're going to do, we start with revisions and go on to new applications. There's at this point tonight only one revision, 9 Stearns Ridge, and one new application, 21 South Cottonette. Before that, though, we have a person in the boardroom who would like to address the Architecture Review Board. And not knowing the subject, I will just allow the gentleman to speak.
Thank you very much. My name is David Rubin and my address is 55 Circle Drive. A year ago, I came before this board with an application for a new fence. I paid the fees, I made the presentation, had a hearing, and I got approved, and that was fine. Several months ago, a fence was constructed on the property adjacent to mine. No application was filed, no hearing was held. I had no opportunity to object. I questioned it. A violation was issued, but there's no, I'm told, in no uncertain terms, that there's no methodology for any kind of enforcement of the violation. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do to have this issue taken care of by the local government. I've tried all the agencies and I don't know which way to go. So I'm coming here to apprise you of the situation. Hopefully you can give me some sort of a suggestion.
You spoke to the building department?
Absolutely. In fact, they're the ones that issued the violation.
Okay, and he has no understanding of how to enforce the
He
violation?
says the only enforcement is if they try to sell the house.
Unfortunately, that sounds correct. I mean, we're not in a position, we kind of take our rules and regulations from the village. There's nothing in our code for the ARB that allows us to even address the issue, but
We know that the village is forced to remove stuff that they've already built when they've determined that it's not right. Who makes that determination?
I have a feeling that's a determination made by the building department and the village board.
Village board.
I don't know,
Okay.
look, you're not getting anywhere with any other board. I would certainly
I
go to the
already
village
read
board.
Brian Smith. So, I.
Recently or,
Yeah, no, within the last month or two,
and no response.
no response. So I don't know what to do. Fence has not been put up according to the rules that you've established. One specific aspect is that the good side of the fence does not face my property, it faces the other side. There's only one aspect, so.
That's an issue for sure.
Right, so
What I would do,
I understand.
what I would do if I was you is to take the email or letter you sent to the mayor and copy the entire board on it, the village board. Then they have to address it in a meeting.
Okay,
That's the best I can tell you at this point.
okay, look, I didn't expect, so that's fine, thank you very much.
Yep.
And I'll take it from there.
I'm
Is that
sorry that
minute?
you're dealing with this. It
Right.
sounds frustrating.
Yeah, especially since they came on my property and ripped down my fence illegally. And I had them put it back up, but they did a crap job and I have some, residual damage.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm sorry that
No,
we
and
can't be of
you're
more help.
correct, and I think this is not the first time I've heard about it.
Well, I agree to this.
But Rick is right, the best you can do really is, address the Board of Trustees. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank
well,
you.
good luck with it.
Okay,
So,
moving on, we will start with ARB 2021-06, 9 Stearns Ridge. A new house, and it's their revisions to the application. I believe this is Steinschneider. Patty.
referred, I just recommended him to.
Hmm?
I just recommended him today.
Yeah.
My eye doctor, go to building.
Good evening. Patty Steinschneider here for Gotham Design, who's working with the Kimbers, who are the owners of 9 Stearns, who have a house that's going up that I think hopefully everybody agrees looks pretty good. And they wanted to make a couple of changes. Most of them were relatively minor. They involve both site work and design on the building. And we've already been to the planning board. They already granted the approval, but we are now before the ARB because of the changes that we've proposed. The changes on the house have not yet been made. So, your decisions here are, it's not one of these things we're trying to legalize it. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Hey, that's really good. Thank you. Sometimes it doesn't always work. So basically, this is the presentation actually we made to the planning board, which goes into a lot of detail about retaining walls. I don't think that's one of your primary concerns, but I have them in here. What I can do is I can first show you the changes that we made to the design and get you that. And then if you want to look at some of the retaining walls or something, we can go into it. These are some photographs of the existing house. Yeah.
I appreciate what you're gonna go through this this way, but I would like you at some point to refer to your letter with the 1 through 6 issues that you want to change and show us line item by line item what you want to change.
Yep, that is exactly what I'm gonna do, although I don't have my letter in front of me. But I will go to those. Let's see if we get past all that. Okay, these are the changes that we made for the retaining walls. The red are the retaining walls that were originally approved. The blue is what we've changed them to. We actually reduced the amount of retaining walls and enlarged the area for planting. Do you want me to go into any detail with those, or is that pretty straightforward?
You're gonna go through the patio, the deck and patio?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
No,
yeah, so here, the best way I think is for me to point out on the elevations, the changes that we made. So one of them, this is the front of the house. The original roof that we had in this area where I'm moving my cursor above this little belt, it's like a bump out window. That was originally just a shed. We've changed it to be a copper roof with a bit of a curve to it, which I think will be very attractive. On the front of the house, we also changed the layout of the glazing in the front door. The number of lights increased from 6 to 8. On the garage doors, we originally had 3, what would appear to be 3 panels of 3 each. Instead, we have what appear to be 2 panels with 8 each. The other thing that you can see on the front is up at the top of the gable. The Architectural Review Board specifically asked us to add something there. When we thought we were going to have a attic that could benefit from venting, we proposed having a wood grate there with a screen behind it so that could be ventilation. We now are insulating the roof with closed cells, so we don't want to have anything open. What we've done is matched the size of the opening in the brickwork with a recessed brick pattern instead of the vent. Also on the front, you'll see a more major change perhaps is the idea that we have the deck that comes out on the side of the house. Before, with the Architectural Review Board, you actually couldn't see this deck. I'll show that in a plan in a minute. But now you see the deck projecting out in this elevation with the screen porch below. If we need to go back to the photographs, one of the things that's very difficult for people to kind of visualize here is that when I'm showing this house head on square, it's as though that's facing the street. The reality is the house is set at a 45. So when you're standing on the street, you actually cannot see the deck or the screen porch. It's actually behind, it sets behind this portion of the house, which projects out. If I go to the side elevation, you can see the little remnant of that, that roof that's projecting out that now has a curb above the window on the front. Another vent up at the top of this gable, which is now recessed brick instead of the grill or the vent. And here's the deck that before only was on the back of the house. Now it turns the corner. That's interesting. Let's see, go back. Now it turns the corner, and this portion of that deck has a screen porch below it. Moving to the next, this is the back of the house. And this is that portion where the deck's been extended with this screen porch underneath. Also on this side, you see over here, the back door, we reduced the size of the deck that we had coming out and the stairs that came off of that, which were a little bit more elaborate. Now it's very simple. And what we did is there's a window here and a door here, and we flip-flopped them. So the door moved to
Actually,
this.
the garage now, Patty?
Say what?
That door and window, are they on the garage?
No, they actually go into the family entrance hall.
Okay, it's just
There's
a
like
little
a,
hard to see because of the backdrop of the garage.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll see it better when I get to the elevations. The floor plans. This is the link that connects the garage to the house. And in a normal world, I guess people would refer to this as a mudroom, but I always think that sounds like someplace you haven't cleaned recently. So I always refer to it as the family entry as opposed to the front door. So one of the things that we realized is that this would be far more active than we originally anticipated, because the office where Megan, the mother, works is in this room. And all of a sudden she realized that there's a great yard alongside of here. And this is a property without a lot of play yard, would be a great place for her kids to play. So emphasizing the way that you can go directly from that hall out onto that play area was something that we thought would be kind of nice for the way all that would work. I think this is the last elevation. You see just the way that deck sits in there. Again, you have another one of the gables that was previously a vent and is now a recessed piece of brick or a section of brick back in the wall. This is, I don't know if you want to get into the landscaping at all, but it's a heavily landscaped site. We've got a lot of planting that's going in. On this side over here, if you can see where the cursor's moving, there was that red retaining wall was here, which has now been moved up here. That was in part specifically to accommodate being able to plant 2 large Norway spruce trees with 3 smaller spruce trees. I guess those are Norway spruce that are there at the request of the next door neighbor. I'm pointing at his house now. He's got a nice row of windows here in his kitchen. And while he doesn't mind seeing the house, I think he's happy that the house looks nice. I think he preferred when there was not a house there. He had a nice big open yard. But we promised him that we would add trees so that he wasn't having the feeling that he was looking at somebody else's life going on. You don't really need this. I'll get to those floor plans. Okay, so here is the basement plan. What I'm going to just do is kind of move from left to right. This bubble was where the wall was, moving to where the wall is now. This bubble comes around the deck, which has changed. Before it was just this rectangle on the back of the house. Now it turns the corner so that you have this additional deck area. The aspect of this house and the way it sits on the site, I think it was very difficult for the client to originally understand how this would really open up to views. Everybody looking at the plans was thinking that this front is what you see from the street. The back is facing the river. The reality with the rotation is you've got a 180-degree rotation of view off this corner. So when you're looking out the windows in this deck, you're looking south. and this deck is looking north, and the whole deck is looking west. So it really wraps the deck around the house so that you have the enjoyment of the whole waterfront. It's quite nice. Out here, these bubbles are showing the area where we reduced the size of the stairs and the deck that goes down to that little play area in the yard. And here you can see how this mudroom or family entrance, you come in here from the outside, there's a powder room, door to the garage here, and this door here goes out onto that deck to go down onto the yard. And this is Megan's playroom office. And obviously the kitchen and all those other things, which I don't think you want me to take time with tonight. I don't know if there's anything, no, nothing really on the second floor to go into. Was there anything else on my list that I had mentioned?
No, I think you handled most of it. Was there any issue with FAR?
No. What we did, we were under the FAR before. And what we did here with the proposed site changes is we showed what the previous coverage was and what it was with the proposed coverage. The change was we altered areas that had 749 square feet. They now became 787 square feet. So basically, it was the addition of 38 square feet, in coverage, but we were under the permitted site coverage, even though we made that increase.
Could you just briefly go through the photographs again?
Yep. Okay, so here is the front of the house. I don't know if you can see the cursor here. The upper right hand is you're looking at the front. This is the current shed roof, which we're proposing to change into that copper curved roof, which would sit right above this. Up here, it'll just be in the brickwork. There'll be that recessed rectangle with the brickwork to bring attention. I forget the person who was on the ARB at the time we were going before the board. That was something that the ARB actually requested that we do, is to add an element up in the top of the gable. So when we were getting rid of the vent, I didn't want to eliminate having that element. So that's how we handled it. This view here of the front, seeing the garage, the side of it, there's nothing really that changes there. What you can see in these photos, though, is how the way the house sits on the site, you really don't see that back deck. This photograph on the lower right, that's where you'll be picking up that deck. It's not built yet, obviously, but it'll be going from this tower form here, wrapping around that corner, and you've got a lot of good sized windows facing out to the river.
And facing down, going down that hill is the big football field?
Yep. And in these photos, you can see there's a lot of glass looking out that side. The house has, when you're in the house, it really feels like it's, you're sitting up on this precipice and you've got this expansive 180-degree view of the river. It works quite nicely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything else was just contextual, showing how we kind of fit in with the other houses. So any questions?
You answered all mine going through the issues that were in that letter. So I'm satisfied. I don't have any additional questions, ladies. No?
No, looks beautiful.
Okay,
It does.
okay, I will then make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Good to go.
Thank you all very much.
Patty, I referred somebody to you today. Nick
Oh.
Donas is for you.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Okay.
okay, good night.
Okay, the only other application we have is ARB 2301. And that's 21 South Cottonette Street, solar.
If you're gonna be making your presentation, if you can,
Hello.
Hello,
Okay, good. Good evening, everyone. My name's Emily. I'm here with SunPower. We are here tonight because we're looking to install a 8.20 kilowatt grid-tied roof-mounted solar system at 21 South Continent Street. We'll be installing a total of 20 solar panels at 410 watts each, as well as 20 inverters located under the panels with the conduit running off the roof.
okay, just looking for my notes. Sarah, do you have a copy of the notes that I sent you? I know there was some questions I had initially.
Sure.
And while she's looking, I know one of the questions was being able to see a section of the roof and the support for the PV modules and the PV modules. Normally our code says that from the roof to the top of the module has to be less than six inches or less. I know you sent something back, but you were making a measurement from the roof to the bottom of the module.
Okay.
Do you have the application that you sent back?
Yeah, I can. Do you want me to share the screen? I can probably pull up the plans.
Yes, please.
Okay.
the only other thing that you mentioned was needing the checklist and asking about the mail.
I saw the checklist.
Both were done.
Okay,
That was.
yep, that's fine.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Is this what you're referring to, the setback?
No, keep scrolling down. There was something, yeah, at this point, there you go.
Right
See
here.
that? If you zoom into that, you're showing me. Yeah, if you zoom, you're showing me from the roof to the bottom of the panel.
Okay,
What I need to know is from the roof to the top of the panel.
from the roof to the top of the panel. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you have anything that shows the height of the support. And then we can look at the module cut sheet and see that it's less than probably 2 inches.
I just have what's on these plans. Which I don't think is
Right.
on. Yeah, this is all they design has given us for these plans. Yeah, and
All right,
everything.
just in the future, if you come in front of us again, our code says that panels on a slanted roof like that can be no higher than 6 inches off the roof face, which means the roof shingles to the top of that panel has to be less than 6 inches. Yep, to the top.
Okay.
If you tell me today that your modules, your PV modules are less than 6 inches from the rooftop, I will make a note stating that you will make sure that the panels are assembled as such, and we can approve it if it's going to be approved tonight.
Okay,
but
I
I
know
will-
when I brought this up to our team that they approved it, that's why they have it on here.
But it's not what we asked for.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're to use that a section, I can't approve it tonight because it's obviously more, if judging from that, it's gonna be more than 6 inches above the roof space.
I'm sorry, you can just you mean from here to here?
From the top of the panel. The top of the panel is right. That's the
Right.
top of the panel. What they're measuring from is, it says it's less than 6 inches from the bottom of the panel. That's not what I asked for.
Oh, I see, you need it from here.
Yes. From there
Okay,
to the,
I understand now, because they put the line here.
is there a situation tonight where you can guarantee me that height is going to be less than 6 inches? I can put it in in the approval and you'll be held to it by the building department when they. do an
Yes, I
inspection.
can reach out to our project manager to confirm that it's from here down here, that's 6 inches, less than 6 inches.
Want to do that while we wait?
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me one moment.
For the record, the other two things that I asked for, you supplied. Or-
Okay, good.
This is the only outstanding issue as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, give me one moment. He doesn't seem to be answering. I can try one more person if you guys are okay with that, or. Ugh.
I have another question.
Sure.
I'm curious to know if you've looked at what the views are from any of the neighboring homes, particularly from any second or third story windows of neighboring homes.
I do have pictures, but no, we don't, I don't believe we have pictures from the neighboring homes from views from, you mean from the views from the second floor?
Do you have like a Google Maps view of the neighborhood that you could pull up and show like who might have what views? Other solar developers have shown us things like that in the past to get us comfortable with, you know,
What
who
the
has
view-
a view of the panels from their second or third story windows.
Well,
And
can
what
you
kind of
show-
screening might be
Maybe she
upgraded.
shows us, but can you
You
show
want
us
to
the
see the
house?
pictures?
Show us a picture of the array and where they're gonna go.
Sure. Sorry, I believe. So this is how the front of the house would look. This is like the array photo.
Mhm.
That's all I have for rear rendered photos. And then this is like a view from across the street of the home, the neighboring home to the left. And then this is the one to the right.
Mhm.
Mm,
And have all the neighbors been notified?
yes, we sent out the certified letters and they've all been returned to us. The return slip.
Okay,
We will also have a public hearing as soon as she's finished.
okay.
And I apologize, of course, my phone froze and I can't get a hold of, of anyone on the first question you had for us.
Okay, that may cause us to put it off till next month.
I understand.
Um,
Yeah, I can't, my phone completely turned black.
Well, Sarah, would they normally open the public hearing now, even though we're not going to?
There is somebody here with their hand raised.
Okay. All right, in the meantime, we have to convene a public hearing, which I will do now
Okay.
for initial comments. I will make a motion to open the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
I,
okay. Public meeting is open. We have someone raising their hands? Okay.
The person that raised their hand is Beverly Adams.
Uh-huh.
You can speak when you're ready.
Hi, I'm actually the homeowner, and I'm so sorry that you don't have the answers that you need. My husband is traveling right now, and I just wondered if there's anything I can do to help this process move along, since the person presenting does not have the answers that you need. Is there some way that we can research the information and provide it to you this evening?
Unless I hear from somebody that the height of the PV array is going to be less than 6 inches.
Okay, I mean, we can insist that that be the case. We know that this company has installed solar panels in this village before, thus they must have conformed to these same regulations. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, that's the code, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming that since that's the code, and they have installed works in Irvington in the past, that I would suggest that we say tonight that we will make sure that this is the case and that they will conform to code so that you can move forward with a vote.
Okay. That having been said, if they've been before us before, they know the rules.
Right. Yes,
I
so that's
will-
why I'm a little disappointed that they haven't made that clear to you this evening.
Me too. Okay. I will make a conditional, well, let me first finish up with the public hearing. Is there anybody else, Sarah, raise their hands?
No.
Okay, so at this point, I will close the public hearing. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's go back to where we just were. I can make a conditional approval based on the guarantee that the height of the PV array from the roof surface will be less than 6 inches. Is that understood?
Yes, understood.
Okay,
Thank you.
yep, I'll make a conditional approval to that effect. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We will make a conditional approval and that will be noted on the approval from the ARB to the building department. Anything else before we leave?
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. And when,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how soon can you get that information to the board? I was asking the presenter.
I would get, oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
What was that question again?
How soon can they get the information to you that you need to make this approval be beyond conditional to be approved? Like,
No, it will be approved tonight.
okay,
But condition based on you being held to that 6-inch dimension.
okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
We're good to go.
All right,
Thank
great.
you.
Good night.
Thank you, Lane. Okay. There being no further business, do I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're good to go.
Um,
As far as the other issues, we will discuss. I'm gonna call everybody and have a conversation with them. And we have to do it that way because if we were to all meet together, it would be a sunshine law violation.